Welcome to the Mixed Reception Podcast. I'm your host, Barrett Sigmund, and today we got a special guest and a very special movie. James Roach, what's up?
Hey, thanks for having me, Barrett. I am very much looking forward to talking about this film with you.
Okay, and the movie we're doing today is Music, directed by singer-songwriter Sia. This came out, I guess, actually it came out this year. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I think it had like a limited release. It was a huge flop. Tell me, James, what is this movie about?
It's not really about anything. That's the weird thing. Like the controversy is more interesting than the movie itself. But the movie, all right. So it's about this young girl who we're guessing is autistic. They never really come out and say, but
they really don't,
like,
do they?
No, they actually didn't. But she's like deep spectrum, like pretty kind of nonverbal, just really out there. And she's being taken care of by her grandma, and her grandma dies. So she basically the grandma leaves Music, who is the autistic girl. She leaves her in her will to Kate Hudson's character, who is a drug dealing, like late 30s, early 40s, kind of ne'er-do-well, is on probation. But basically, she gets left Music in the will and has to learn to love and take care of this young lady. But there's a lot of other stuff that's going on in this movie.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of thinking. Well, first of all, like typically, I try to do movies that, got a mixed reviews, mixed reception, or movies that have attained a cult following, maybe didn't get such good reviews when they came out. It remains to be seen if this movie will have a cult following. I don't think it will. Everybody hated this movie. It's got like an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. But I mean, if you read my description on Spotify, it does say I do cover movies that were controversial upon release. And this movie was super controversial. Like everybody was like pissed off when the trailer.
There was a lot of please don't do this, Sia.
Well, are you like a fan of Sia?
Yeah, I'll tell you. There's a couple of songs of hers that I really like. And she made really good music videos, and that kind of explains her choice of casting Maddie Ziegler in the lead role, because I think that's like the only person she knows outside of, like her. It's like her and Shia Labeouf are like the only two people she knows. So obviously this is going to go to Maddie. But yeah, no, I like the music, and I liked it a lot more when I was like heavily into drinking, but now I don't really listen to it as much.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, I think like the controversy, there's a whole fucking Twitter shitstorm leading up to the movie, which is like more interesting than the movie. But we should probably talk about the movie first, because we should probably get that out of the way. The movie is less interesting than what, like the whole controversy and stuff. But like, what'd you think about this movie?
So this is like my favorite kind of bad movie. Like it is not a good movie, and it does a lot of things really wrong, and it is I think it's probably highly offensive to more than just like the autistic community, even though they get the brunt of the offensiveness from this movie. But I would imagine this movie is probably also offensive to like Africans living in America.
I was gonna say that. I think that was like even more like
it was obvious that was going to happen, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure.
Well, that was the thing too about this movie. It got a lot of criticism for like the like the stereotypical like magical Negro character.
Yeah, there's that. There's some other things going on there too that I think people might take issue with, but then also maybe the to a lesser extent, maybe the Asian American community is going to have some issues.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
That was the wildest subplot. So this movie,
oh my God, you're so right.
And so, I just got done talking about like how offensive this movie could be to like different groups. But one of the reasons I actually think this is my favorite kind of bad movie, is that it's really trying. It's not trying to be offensive. It's really trying to come out and say, hey, I got something important to say. And then somewhere when it's making this statement, it just completely derails itself, and the movie just fucks up really bad. Just in everything it's trying to say.
Yeah, Molly, I was telling her I was going to do this, and her first reaction was like, I thought you only did movies that got mixed reviews. And she's like, okay, well, like, I'll watch it with you. And like, not even 5 minutes in, she was like, I'm out. Done.
I'm surprised. I thought you would actually enjoyed this movie.
I thought so too. I thought she was going to hang in there with me. I did pause it to go to the bathroom, and I was like, oh, fuck, I got an hour and 20 minutes left.
Well, the great thing about this movie too is so you were only 20 minutes in the movie, because this is only like a 100-minute movie.
Well, so I did watch the whole thing, but I did pause it, and I was like, oh boy, I still got a way to go.
But that was one of the nice things, is it's not terribly long. So it's got that going for it.
I don't know. It's not terribly long, but it feels long.
Yeah, well, not a lot happens.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I think more than anything, we'll get to Maddie, what's her name? Maddie
Ziegler.
We'll get to her performance. But I feel like more than anything, I just feel like this is just a bland screenplay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's like we've seen this movie before. I mean, Rain Man. It's kind of like Rain Man a little bit.
Rain Man can do this. I mean, you probably can't do it now, but it can do it because it was made when it was made, and also you had Dustin Hoffman in the lead, and he's a pretty good actor. So
yeah, well, that's a whole nother discussion. I mean, like, I don't know. How do you feel about, like, regular people portraying people with a mental handicap? I mean, I
don't think it's a great idea.
I don't think so either.
Back when Rain Man was made, I don't know. I'm talking about this like it was like Columbus just found America or something and decided to make Rain Man, like it was that long ago. But no, we don't need to do that anymore.
I don't know. If I'm an actor or a filmmaker or producer, I'm just not going to touch the subject matter. I'm not. I mean, it's just, especially nowadays where just everybody gets so pissed off. I mean, I get it. But yeah, I don't know, like, who funded this? Like, why? What do they think? What was she thinking? Apparently, this is a passion project of hers. Like, she had written this story years ago. She spent according to her, she says she spent like years researching this.
I think maybe she wrote or read half of a Wikipedia article, because there didn't seem to be much understanding about anything. But yeah, no, there's a whole rabbit hole with this one. I don't know. Do you want to just talk through like the basic what happens in this first?
Yeah, let's talk through it. Well, right off the bat, like first 5 minutes in, it's that first musical number. You're like, oh god. It's the most. Well, okay. What do you feel about her performance? Is it? I mean,
Maddie Ziegler's.
Yeah.
It's not her fault. Like I said, this is like, so Sia is this. She's the only person that Sia knows. Let's say, just because she's in all the music videos. She's an incredibly talented young dancer, and Sia, I guess, got a big bug up her ass that she wanted to make this movie, so she just grabbed Maddie and had her make it. And this movie apparently was made back in 2017.
They shelved it. I think when the COVID hit, they were like, all right, let's put it out now. Movie theaters are at an all-time low.
So yeah, they finished making this in 2017, and then she was like, oh, I'm going to be editing this for 3 years now.
Yeah, I read that too. Like, what? How is this? How did this take 3 years to edit?
I mean, yeah, it took you 3 years to edit, and this was the best you could salvage, huh? But yeah, no, she's not good, but like, I think that's mostly one, inexperience, two, the direction she's getting from Sia, because like this performance is so over the top as to whatever. I mean,
it's kind of it is stereotypical. I mean, it's like, if you're not really well read on the subject, which I mean, I'm not really either. But this is probably the first thing you would think about when you think of autism. And yep, she just goes for it.
Yeah, I mean, I could just imagine like Maddie trying to do like something sort of subtle, and she was like, "No, bigger, go bigger."
She's from
I'm not,
Australia. Oh,
I'm not,
bigger.
yeah, I'm not saying the autism. You gotta go bigger.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, right off the bat, that first musical number, and she's just like the twitching, the overbite, the just the moving or flailing around. I mean, it's just so over the top.
The first musical number also, I don't know if this was just me. I don't know if anyone has commented on this. I haven't looked. But when they first show her and her, because like I said, they do the musical numbers and it's supposed to sort of take place in music's head, like what she's feeling or whatever. Yes. But the very first one, I think it was part of the lighting, maybe part of the makeup and the way that her hair was done in like braids and stuff. It almost looked like she was doing blackface.
I didn't know.
In the very first one.
Holy shit. I would say I'll go back and watch, but I won't.
But no, it's
it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. But like I'm like, oh, we're gonna get everybody.
Well, I will say, like, that's the thing about these musical numbers. It's like, well, first off, like, okay, so music. First of all, dumb name. Okay, stupid ass name. Who names your kid Music? And also, it's so fucking on the nose. It's like, oh, her name's Music because she likes music, and it's just like
she goes everywhere.
Wearing these headphones throughout the whole movie, and it's just like so dumb and so on the nose. But she kind of takes a back seat in this movie for like a long time.
Yeah, once we get speaking of terrible names, once we get introduced to Kate Hudson's character.
What is her name?
Like,
I want to look it up.
Her name is Kazoo. Yeah, but she gets everybody to call her Zoo. So like her mom, they do a quick backstory, just that her mom was like a drug addict or whatever, but she did some war crimes on these kids' names, like just set them up for failure. So once Kazoo shows up, and her introduction is she's basically one of the most annoying characters I've ever experienced in a film. But she takes over.
Most annoying. You thought she was pretty bad in the movie, Kate Hudson.
Oh I thought she was terrible. Well, her character was just awful. Like if you ran into this kind of person in real life, you just want to get away from them, you know. I'm trying to think of like some specific stuff they do, but so the first time we're introduced to her, she's sitting in like an AA meeting that she's fallen asleep at.
Oh yeah, and then she tries to buy the chip.
Yeah,
no, you have to earn it. She's like, well, but
and she does that thing that all annoying people do. Like the person who's like leading the meeting is obviously trying to leave, and she keeps like, oh, my phone's ringing. Hold on 1 second, let me just answer this.
Oh, that was annoying. That was rude as fuck.
Yeah, and like the lady's just like, I gotta go. I got shit to do, and yeah, it's just a very hateable character.
She is like such a piece of shit. And then at one point, she like tries to like she calls, I guess, I don't know who she calls, like I guess Child Protective Services or something.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, when can I drop her off?
Yeah, do you do?
And Lena Dunham, I looked this up. She's in the cast. She was the person on the other line.
Who was that? Juliet? Who was it?
No, Lena Dunham.
Oh, Lena Dunham. It was
Lena Dunham was the person she called of Child Protective Services.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, and that's another thing too. I mean, like we're jumping all around, which is fine, but like there's like thankless big name actors in like thankless roles. Like
fucking Juliette Lewis is in this, and I don't know where.
I guess she's like one of her clients because she still deals drugs.
Oh, okay, yeah. She was buying drugs, and Kathy Najimy, or I can't say her last name. She was the mom who's like off screen. So.
Oh yeah, and then Henry Rollins is like you barely even see Henry Rollins' face. He's like out of focus in the background, and he's like, "I'm gonna call the cops." Like,
yeah, his name appears in the credits longer than he does in the movie.
Yeah,
it's really amazing. You would have thought he had a much bigger role.
I'm just like, why did Henry Rollins sign up for this?
Was he just around? Was Sia just?
I don't know. She's like, "Oi, Henry, long time no see. You want to be in my movie?"
Henry. I got a really, really sensitive movie I'm making. But, so it starts off with that musical number, right? And then we get to see what like music's life is, and she's living with her grandma, and I'm guessing it's New York because they mentioned Greenwich Village. And she's got a routine where she gets eggs every day, and then grandma braids her hair, and then grandma just like lets her just roam free throughout the neighborhood.
Wow, great parenting. Or
yeah, but she's like paid off the entire neighborhood to like kind of watch out for her. You know, she's got the kid Felix following her and
the Asian guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't wait to talk about that subplot.
That subplot was amazing.
Oh my god, why was that in the movie?
I don't know. That could have been its own movie.
Should we talk about that now? It's okay. We can branch off. Okay.
Yeah. Who cares? I mean, I do think people should see this movie. But yeah, let's talk about Felix for a moment.
Yeah. So Felix is like this, I guess, her neighbor, right? I guess.
I think so. Oh, he's like he lives across the street and shines a flashlight into her window.
And I took it as he's autistic too.
I think he is like one of the few like legit autistic people in this movie.
Yes, and so I don't know. Maybe he likes music. I don't know. It's kind of implied, but do they even have any scenes together besides that musical number? Which is
okay. So in the very beginning, when they've let music just roam free, he's going like in front, paying for the watermelon on the stick, and he kind of follows her around in the library, just sort of keeping an eye on her.
Also, timeout, watermelon on a stick. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I guess it was like a frozen watermelon on a popsicle stick.
That was.
I mean, just a slice, not the whole melon, but
right. That'd be awesome. It was like this tiny ass dude, this popsicle stick with a big ass watermelon. Anyway, go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about this subplot without getting into Ebo, but you know, we'll get to Ebo later.
We'll get to Ebo.
But yeah, no, yeah, he's just like this really sweet big kid, and his dad's pretty abusive, wants him to be a tough guy. His mom's, you know, sweet and loves him, but he's taking boxing lessons. Like his dad wants him to take boxing lessons.
Yeah, really wants him to grow up and be a boxer for some reason.
Yeah, and obviously, like this kid's not about that boxing life. He's about, you know, helping out music and getting watermelons on a stick,
as any kid should be. Yeah.
Yeah. So finally, the big day comes where he's going to box some other kid, you know, in the underground kid fight club that Ebo's running. Well, it's just a boxing gym, but it's kind of funny to see like this huge crowd turn out to watch kids box. I don't know. I'm not really.
I thought that was weird too. I was like, huh, what? Okay.
And he's getting ready to box, and his dad's like, "You knock him down. You knock that boy down."
And then he hugs him. And
Felix just goes over and gives him a big old hug. And that's the fight.
Really fucking dark. Him and his parents later that night are getting into like a screaming match. He hits the mom, and I'm trying to think if I remember it correctly. The dad hits him, and then he falls over and like he hits his head on something, and he like bleeds.
Yeah.
To death. He dies.
He dies. He's fucking dead, right? So the dad's like beating his wife. Felix comes out and catches like a backhand, and he's one shot, man. It's like he just found the ultimate boss in Dark Souls, and it was his dad, and he just got destroyed, right? Like a big old "you died" just flashes on the screen when he's laying there. So he's dead, and this never really comes back to anything.
No, and I thought like, oh, like maybe he'll live. No, he dies. Like
he's fucking dead.
Why is this in the movie?
And they never go. They never have like anybody go over and be like, "Hey, music, your friend Felix, he got one shot by his dad."
That was kind of a wasted opportunity. Like music, you could have a scene where music was upset, and then Zoo has to like, you know, comfort her. Maybe they have a bonding moment.
Yeah, maybe Ebo teaches music how to box so she can get revenge on his father or something.
That would have been fucking awesome. Sequel. Oh my god, they should do a sequel.
It was like she knew anyways, because like as soon as that happens, she's having a musical number in her head with Felix, and he's like driving off with his grandma. What's that?
Empathic? Yeah, she like kind of senses his death, right?
Yeah, and this goes back to something else. Like everybody was kind of, when Sia was getting into it on Twitter with people about this movie, everyone was like, she kept referring to them as people like us, music, as somebody with special abilities. And like the autistic and disabled community were like, no, it's okay. You can just say disabled. And she was like, no, they're special abilities. So maybe she is telepathic.
That's what she always intended. Like, you guys are just dumb. You didn't know that this was a backdoor X-Men prequel.
Yeah, Professor X is gonna.
Oh, wouldn't that have been awesome if like the after credit scene was like a de-aged like Patrick Stewart and like come with me music.
That'd be incredible. Made everything worthwhile.
Oh my god. So yeah, so that I don't know why the fuck that's in. That was so baffling.
Yeah, that was incredible.
And then I guess so. Yeah, I mean, Zoo meets up with.
Yeah, so she winds up going there because her grandma, who was taking care of music, has died.
Yes.
She's like, oh, cool, I'm gonna go get the will and get some money and stuff. And there's no money. Grandma basically leaves her music in the will. When she's reading the will, she's like, there's no money, but what there is a special young girl named Music who needs you.
And she's pissed too. And she's looking through the house, like trying to find shit that's worth something. And I like that part where she's like looking in the jar and she thinks it's money and it's fucking Monopoly money.
Yeah.
Like, nah, bitch. But yeah, and, I gotta say, grandmother, kind of a slob, kind of a hoarder, borderline hoarder. That was a messy ass apartment.
And she just finding random facts to tell Music and amuse herself with too, which is the hallmark of an annoying person as well.
So Music and Zoo, they're basically their first interaction or first day together. She I guess makes her eggs wrong.
This was incredible. Yeah.
Oh my god. She's sitting there screaming like, make you eggs, make you eggs, make you eggs, and it's so cringy. And then isn't that when we're introduced to Ebo? Then he like come in.
Yeah, so we do see him. We first see him like when Grandma dies, and I thought this is awesome too. This cracked me up. This whole movie kind of cracks me up once you divorce yourself from the fact that everything they're telling you is like the wrong way to handle any situations. But you first see Ebo when Grandma dies, and the paramedics are rolling her out on a gurney, and he's standing in the hallway like saluting as they wheel her by. Like,
oh yeah, remember that.
This was General Grandma just died.
That was fucking weird. I was like, why is he saluting?
Yeah, I guess he was saluting the EMTs. I don't know that you have to do that, but it was very kind. But yeah, no, go ahead on back to Ebo.
All right. Well, Ebo kind of tells her like, no, this is her routine. This is what you need to do. And then she has like, correct me if I'm wrong, she has like kind of a fit.
Mm-hmm.
And then this was very controversial. He lays on top of her. It's called restraining. And that's what like calms her down. So he just like lays on top of this girl.
Yeah, he basically like wrestles her to the ground. And I think he even says, you got to crush her with your love.
Yes. It's like some weird line, like you have to show her that you love her or something, some weird.
Yeah, and so the guy who's playing Ebo is Leslie Odom Jr., who I think was like in Hamilton and some other stuff.
Yes, Hamilton.
I haven't seen him in anything else, but he's from Africa in this, so he's got this African accent. And he's from Ghana, and I remember Zoo was like, "Oh, how'd you learn to do that? I mean, I would have never thought to just fucking wrestle my sister to the ground and crush her like that. That's amazing." But he's like, "Oh, my brother had this in Ghana, and we learned how to do it there, and they all my village thought he was like possessed by demons." And it's like, oh man.
Oh, so his brother is autistic too? I didn't catch this.
Yeah, and then she was like, "Oh well, how's he doing?" And he's like, "He's dead." So
also too, to go back to Ebo, he has another brother that basically backstabbed him and fucked his wife.
Yeah,
that's a subplot.
Yeah, Ebo's wife left him for Ebo's brother.
And like a fucking cuck, this motherfucker is like invited to the wedding, and he's like, I'm gonna go because he's my brother and I love him and I wish them the best. I mean, Ebo is just a heart of gold. I mean, I would be like, fuck you.
And Zoo, like the true annoying piece of shit she is, invites herself.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna go with you. And Zoo is trying so hard to get her fuck on with Ibu. I mean, like she is mesmerized with this guy right from the get-go. And I think, well, okay, he has AIDS too, right? Or HIV?
Yeah, and it was pretty freaking obvious because, you know, look at the subtlety that this movie's trafficking in, for starters, right? So, you know, just the way that music's being portrayed, and then you're introduced to the African neighbor, and the next thing you see with him, he's on the phone talking about his like, I need this medication to live. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh yes, Sia has given this man AIDS because he's African, and that's you know, just I think that's how she just sees the world or something. I don't know, but yes, he has AIDS,
and that's why he kind of doesn't want to get close to her.
Yeah.
I want to know how he got AIDS. Like, I want to know that. Like,
did his wife leave him because of the AIDS?
I don't know. Like, I have so many questions. Nothing's explained in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure, like, you know, autism's a spectrum. Like, I mean, what specifically is wrong with music? Or not wrong. That's kind of mean, I guess. But what is her,
what's the situation?
What's the situation? Yeah, I don't. And then, like, I guess, are there half sisters? I think I read that.
Half sisters. Why not just make them sisters?
I don't know. I like. There's just a lot of stuff that just really isn't like explained.
No, it's flying by. This movie flies by the seat.
I think they could have alleviated a little bit of the controversy in this movie. I think maybe the reviews wouldn't have been as bad if they like just kind of explained some things. Because how it is in the movie, it's just kind of broad, and it kind of comes off as like a stereotype.
Yeah, and also if they just picked one thing, you know, just have one thing be the issue, like, you know, music and, you know, her situation, make it that. Don't make it that Ebo's AIDS and you know, the Felix getting murked by his dad. You know, just have one thing that people can kind of get behind and focus on.
But what's odd is like, yeah, then from this point on, it's kind of like it kind of shifts, and it kind of becomes like a romantic drama between like Ebo and
music's not really that important anymore.
And what's also even weirder is like, you know, like music, the whole, I guess, purpose of these musical numbers is like like you said, this is how she views the world.
Yeah.
But then she takes such a back seat, you know, and the focus shifts to, you know, Zoo. It's like, well, it's weird when there's a musical number because it's like she wasn't around for that. Like,
yeah, the musical numbers are weird because they're presented like they're coming from inside music's head, but then sometimes it'll be like Ebo walk into his apartment and start feeling sad, and then it's his musical number,
right?
And yeah, it's very strange.
Which also, it's very telling because I think you could take out the musical numbers and I don't think it would have any effect.
I
found out from my research that I guess it was a lower budget movie. I think the original budget was like I don't know, like $4 million, and then they were like, "We'll give you like $12 million more if you make it a musical." So I don't think it was supposed to be a musical because Sia has come out and said that was not like musicals.
Yeah.
So
that's how they went from only losing $4 million to losing $16 million.
Which I have the box office numbers. We should probably talk about that briefly. This had like I said, $16 million budget. It grossed $649,719.
Just an incredible own. So apparently it got something of a release from what I read in Australia. And in America, they actually fucking released this in IMAX for like one day.
Oh my God, I read that too.
Right after Tenet. Yeah, like Tenet came out. And this was, you know, the same time when like we're going into lockdown and stuff. So they're like, all right, well, Tenet's going to free up the IMAX so we can put music in IMAX.
Oh my God. What was that about?
Yeah. I mean, that's ambitious.
What if you're that poor fucker who like, I really got to see this new Sia movie. And then you got COVID.
It was a bad day. But can we talk about somebody else who's amazing in this? Can we talk about Ben Schwartz as the drug dealer?
I've never been a Ben Schwartz fan personally, so when I saw him, I was just annoyed. I don't know what this character is, what this performance. He's got like cornrows. Is he supposed to be gay? I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, But all I know is that he's like the worst drug dealer of all time because he keeps giving Zoo drugs to sell.
That's true. I was like, okay, if this
losing
was like
them or not giving him his money.
yeah, if this was like the real world, like you would be murdered.
She would be so many tiny pieces.
You'd have cement shoes. You'd be sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we and I think, I mean, we can stop talking about this movie at any time, but I like talking about it. But
no, let's go through it. We'll go through the whole thing.
Yeah, so we definitely have to talk about Sia's actual appearance in this.
Oh my god, that was so cringy. She is so fucking full of herself, and she's like, "We're gonna buy all your drugs, and we're gonna give them to people in Africa who need it, or whatever."
Yeah, she's like, "There's been an earthquake in Haiti, and all the kids got their bones dislocated. So what I'm gonna do is you get me a backpack full of Percocets and OxyContin. And I'll fly it down in my private jet, and we'll give it to them because all they got's Tylenol." So she wants you to get a backpack full of Oxy and Percocet and stuff. To take to Haiti, and this is going to let Zoo get enough money to go to Costa Rica. It's her big dream of paradise.
Oh my god, I did perk up like the movie. I should say this. I think the movie's pretty boring.
Yeah.
It wasn't like funny as like bad funny as I wanted it to be. There were moments that made me laugh. The musical numbers really made me laugh because like they're just so like just this movie should have been called Goofy Face the movie. It's just people. I mean like, but I did perk up when she was like she looked over and she was like, "Is that a Sia wig?" I'm like, they're not gonna do this. And then I'm like, oh fuck, Sia's actually in the movie.
Yeah, why would you not put yourself in the movie when you're as talented as Sia?
So that she's so full of herself. She's like, oh, yeah,
but,
I'm not like those other celebrities. I'm going to buy up all the drugs and send them to the people who need them. It's just like, God, get off your high horse.
But yeah, so she goes to Ben Schwartz to get all the drugs, and it really doesn't seem to be like that much drugs that he gives her. But at the same time, he's like, oh, if you think about running out of my money, something bad's gonna happen. And he's already like done.
What are you gonna do?
Like what are you gonna do, Ben Schwartz?
give her another extension.
Yeah, give her more money.
Also, too, I don't know if we've gotten. Also, doesn't she end up selling? She ends up getting the drugs for Ebo's AIDS.
Yeah, so she goes to get all the Percocet and stuff, and he gives it to her because he's a fucking idiot. Knowing damn well she's not going to come back with money. And as she's leaving, she's like, "Oh, hey, drop this off to some client somewhere." And she looks at it and she's like, "Oh, what drug is this? Is this what all the kids are doing these days?" And he's like, "It's what all the kids with AIDS are doing these days."
That's the line of the movie.
Yeah, and he's like, it's doing my good deed. So that's how she learns that Ebo has AIDS, and that's how he learns that she's a drug dealer.
I'm kind of skipping ahead, but that scene where she's hammered, she has like a relapse. She gets drunk. We'll get to why she gets drunk, but man, that acting is awful. She's like, I don't care if you have AIDS. I don't care. And that was the scene where Henry Rollins is like, hey, you guys need to keep it down. And she's like, shut up. She like pushes him. He's like, that's it. I'm calling the cops.
It's amazing. You literally could have gotten anyone in the world to do that, but you got Henry Rollins to do that.
You think Sia like held like open auditions for like that character? He's like,
Henry Rollins showed up.
He's like Leonardo DiCaprio like auditioned. Like, I'm just not feeling it, Leo. Henry, yes, that's what I need.
You got it.
But yeah. Oh, also, so she loses the drugs because
this is so incredible. I love how she lost them.
Oh my god. She loses the drugs because Music has like a fucking fit. She's like, she gets stung by a bee, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. So they're doing their walk through the park. Yeah, you're right. She does get stung by a bee, but everything leading up to that is incredible.
Yeah, please explain it.
So they're walking through the park on their way to do the drug deal of the century and save Haiti at the same time, and they stop and they're like, all right, Music, I'm going to get you a snow cone, rainbow flavored. And while she's getting the snow cone prepared, Music kind of wanders off just a little bit to this park bench. And she like crawls under it. And
Music
looks over. Yeah, Zoo looks over and like, what are you doing? And she's eating the gum from the bottom of the park bench. So Zoo rushes over and is like, "Stop it! That's gross. Spit it out." And she does. And once she does that, like a freaking bee just comes out of nowhere, lands on her hand, and stings her. Like bees are known to do. They only get to do that one time in their life. And this bee was like, "That girl's allergic," and went and got her ass.
Yeah, that's another thing this movie needs. She's allergic to bee. People have bee allergies, AIDS, every problem.
Yeah, it was like Chekhov's bee allergy too, because you knew like from the minute when they were going over all the stuff that was up with music that they say like she's allergic to bees. Like, well, bees got to show up in the third act and sting this bitch. So so they rush her to the hospital.
Yeah, I guess she like left the drugs on the. I don't know. I don't know where they went, but
yeah, she just left the drugs. She like carries her sister to the hospital. They get her taken care of, and they're like, she had an EpiPen in her fanny pack the whole time, right? Which was awesome.
Oh, I forgot that. That's right. Oh,
it makes sense because she's allergic, so of course she would have a freaking EpiPen.
Yeah, and the doctors are like, "Oh, she's okay. She's got has an EpiPen." Like what?
Yeah, so she forgot the drugs at the snow cone machine or snow cone maker's place. Went running back, and they're gone. The drugs are gone.
Yeah, well, I like when she runs back and she's like, this is some great acting by Kate Hudson. She just like starts screaming. But like I like how she knocks the can over, and then the cop like whoop whoop, and she's like, I'm sorry, I put it back.
Cop's like, that's right.
And
that's what triggers her.
She has a relapse, and that's like, I don't care if you have AIDS, and there's that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then the movie after this, like the movie kind of just like races to the finish.
Yeah, it's like I'm out of ideas.
Yeah, and it's like weird because like then like the next scene, she's like, "Oh, I've been 30 days sober." I'm like, "Wait, what? What the fuck happened?"
Yeah. Yeah, they go through a montage of her trying to get jobs like everywhere, and nobody's hiring because she's annoying as shit. And she's finally like she does her 30 days sober, and she's finally like, well, yeah, I'm doing much better now. I guess I'm gonna go. I guess I'm gonna go take music over to a state care facility and leave her there.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yeah, I forgot that happened.
Yeah. So she takes her to the facility, and they look around, and they're like, "It'll be good. She can socialize and stuff." And Kate's like, "Nah, I'm not feeling it. I don't have any job. All I've got is this very special little girl." So she takes music, and they go crash Ebo's wedding or Ebo's.
Oh, that was so weird too. Like they just barge in, and it's just like. Yeah. Also, I kind of feel bad that wedding venue wasn't very nice.
No, they could
like.
Yeah. It was kind of like
a hotel, and
it's like it looked like the carpeted gymnasium of a Mormon church. Almost.
Oh my God! And then, oh my God! And then, probably the cringiest moment of the movie when music sings.
Yeah.
Ooh. And Sia thought that was more heartfelt than it was.
Yeah. Did you catch the lyrics to that song too?
No, because I couldn't understand her.
Okay. Well, this was where they were being real clever. So they bust in, right? Zoo and music bust in. Basically, Ebo's just done given a toast. He's on
a toast
stage.
To his. By the way, I will remind you, a toast to his brother and ex-wife. His brother fucked his ex-wife. And go on.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be watching from the closet. But so they bust in. Ebo's on stage. He just gave a big toast. Zoo gets on stage and starts confessing her love to him and everything. He's like, I was gonna give up Zoo. I was gonna give up. Their names are so stupid. I keep getting confused.
Right.
They give up music, but I just couldn't do it. So we're here at your wedding, and I love you. And let's play a song. So Ebo starts playing the piano, and it's this song that Zoo sings with him when he's on the piano or whatever. And before Zoo can start singing, music starts singing it. And I only noticed these lyrics last night because I watched it with the closed captioning.
You watched it with subtitles? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to make sure I I came in full.
You wanted to get the full experience that you couldn't get in IMAX.
Yeah. And anyways, the lyrics that music is singing is, it starts off that music is the soothing saint. And then it kind of repeats like that a little bit. But it's like really, really embarrassing and just very, very on the nose. But she's doing it, when she's singing it, she's doing it in character, of course. So it's, I'm not even going to attempt it.
I'm not either. It's just, I don't like, it's so cringy.
Yeah. But.
And then that's kind of the movie. Like, then they oh yeah, she gets a dog at the end, I guess.
And apparently Felix gave her that dog, even though he's been dead for over 30 days. He is a mail order dog from Felix or something, kind of like John Wick's wife did when she died.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Please have a music John Wick like crossover.
That would be incredible. Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna do an impression of her saying, "Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back," but I'm just not going to.
Save it.
Not gonna say.
There's just so many inexplicable people in the movie. The whole movie is inexplicable, but whenever she's watching TV, it's this like dumbass children's show that they made for the movie with Tig Notaro starring.
Yes. Yeah. Oh God, that's in there for I don't like, maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's like, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I guess like she likes that show, so in a way, like that show in her mind are kind of, I don't know. Yeah. We haven't really talked a lot about the musical like interludes, numbers. I mean, what did you like the music in this?
No, I didn't. The songs were bad, and every time they went to the visuals on them, because like her music videos are good, the ones that aren't in this movie. But every time they do it and you see the people in it, it looks like a bunch of clowns just shit their pants. Like the way they have them dressed up, they literally look like clowns with pants full of shit.
Oh God, yeah. Like they look like diapers. Like
yeah, everyone. It's extremely visually off-putting and unappealing.
Yeah, it's also kind of visually, it's just like one note. It just feels very like cheap.
And it would make sense if this was all from music's point of view, because it does kind of look like that children's show she's watching.
Yeah,
with Tig Notaro. But the way these musical interludes are presented, it's like this can't just be from music. Didn't just come up with this. This is like this guy's song about what he's going through that nobody else knows.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like you establish it's through her perspective, but then you're cutting to other people and they're having their. So like, do all the characters see life through that lens? Is everyone autistic? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a very M. Night Shyamalan plot twist, if so.
Yeah. So that's kind of I mean, that's the movie. I did.
Spoiler alerts for music after the fact.
I did. I have some of the tweets are hilarious. Okay, I have one. I'm going to read it. Several autistic actors, myself included, responded to these tweets. We all said we could have acted on short notice. These excuses are just that, excuses. The fact of the matter is zero effort was made to include anyone who is actually autistic, somebody. And then Sia's like, well, maybe you're just a bad actor.
This is great. It's so great the way she handled this criticism. And one of my favorite things, like before the movie came out, people were, talking to her about this, like how much they disapprove about like, yeah, you really should have had some autistic consultation, or maybe an autistic actor played lead. She's like, I just wish everybody would go see my movie. And this is all happening like in November. And then in February, she's like, I'm sorry. And then deletes her Twitter. She's like, I apologize for this movie.
Well, also too, it's so she says, maybe you're just a bad actor. And then she also replies, fucking bullshit. You have no fucking idea because you weren't there and haven't seen the movie. And then but after that, she's like, grr, fuckity fuck. Why don't you watch my film before you judge it? Fury. in all caps.
Yeah. A lot of times, like I'll be on their side when people are like judging something that hasn't been released yet or whatever. But you could kind of tell that this was going to be what it was from the trailer.
Well, I don't think I didn't. This movie wasn't really on my radar until the Golden Globe nominations, because the Golden Globes come out, which I think the Golden Globes. We can talk about the Golden Globes like, well, I mean the Oscars are a joke too, but the Golden Globes are really, really a joke. And then like for best musical or comedy, like this music movie gets nominated. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I started to look into it, and then I was seeing it was getting like awful reviews. And it's like the worst reviewed movie to get nominated for a Golden Globe.
Yeah, and didn't Kate Hudson get nominated for?
She got nominated for Best Actress.
It's fucking crazy.
The whole category is just bizarre too, because like I feel like the Golden Globes are so like old fashioned, like in the 50s, right? Like there was a lot of musicals. There's just not that many musicals anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of years it's just been this and Cats.
Right, and I was gonna bring up Cats. I remember when Cats came out and I saw it. I'm like, this movie sucks. I bet it's gonna get nominated for a Golden Globe. It didn't. I was surprised that it didn't. So I know you would think, well, that's the thing, because there's only like a handful of musicals that come out. So when one does come out, it's gonna automatically get nominated. But I was really shocked that the Golden Globes, had some restraint and did not nominate Cats. That's crazy. But this is another funny tweet. Sia, I love you, but Autism Speaks is a horrible, horrible thing. I guess that's like Autism Speaks, I guess it's like a really sketchy like group. But she's like, does not show or represent kindness for autistic people like me. They are known to fearmonger and spread false, harmful information and stigma. Please don't give them a voice. And Sia writes, oh shit.
Guys, new information fresh off the Twitter.
And then there was the whole thing with like I think she responds, Autism Speaks came on board long after the film was finished, which kind of defeats the purpose. Why would you have a group come on after the movie's done? 4 years, in fact.
Yeah,
I had no idea it was such a polarizing group.
There's no research done.
Yeah, and that was another thing I found through these tweets too. She was just like, she kept saying like, oh, well, I did so much research and stuff. Like for years and years I researched, but it seems like she didn't.
Yeah, it really does. It's pretty impressive. Something I read today that I thought was awesome was like, so Kate Hudson's character Zoo was apparently supposed to be a brother instead of a sister.
Yes, Shia Labeouf was supposed to play him.
Yeah, the other person Sia knows.
Yes.
He did that music video with her. But yeah, it was going to be Shia LaBeouf, and if you couldn't get him, apparently it was going to be Jonah Hill. Yeah. Well, I imagine we'll deny that to his dying day.
Oh yeah, for sure. Man, just imagine if Shia LaBeouf was cast, because like he got
a great movie.
Well, he got canceled like right around when this movie came out. So you would have had that drama as well. Like, that would have been like a double disaster.
Would have been incredible. Like I was saying, like this is one of my favorite kind of bad movies. Like I watched it the first time I watched it, I was a little high, and I really enjoyed it then because everything was, I knew like this is not how you're supposed to treat people. You're not supposed to, if somebody's having a fit, you're not supposed to tackle them like you're Ray Lewis. So, like knowing that. You can have a good time with this movie, like knowing all the stuff that this movie is just going to do everything wrong. You can have a good time, I think, if you want to have a few drinks or whatever you do. As far as being a movie goes, it's not as good as Cats.
Oh my God, have you seen Cats?
I've seen Cats. Yeah, I saw Cats.
I might have to have you on for Cats. You might be the guest I bring on for like fucking weird, like bad movies.
I did a double feature one day that was Cats, and then I followed it up with what was the last fucking Star Wars movie?
Oh God, Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker, and I followed it up. Yeah, I followed Cats with Rise of the Skywalker, and Cats was the better movie. I'm sorry to say.
Well, I think it would be the better movie if they release the butthole cut. That's a thing. God damn, that's so bizarre. Like somebody got paid to animate little like cat buttholes.
It's like, come on, boss.
I do want to talk about Cats at some point on this pod because I saw that in theaters with Molly and Jeff, and that was a great experience because we just got drunk the whole time, and we're just like roasting the movie. I think we were pissing people off at first. By the end of the movie, I think we got everybody on our side.
Yeah, you guys went and got chili wasted before?
No, we snuck beer in.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I think Molly had she brought it in her purse. And it was a great time. One of the best. It's so crazy. Like Cats was probably top 5 movie going experience of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Also too, that restraint scene. She did tweet out that she was going to remove the restraint scene.
Yeah, like she thinks there's gonna be a fucking special edition like Star Wars: A New Hope. She's gonna get to cut out things and re-release this.
Yeah, she's like, I plan to remove the restraint scenes from all future printings. I listened to the wrong people, and that is my responsibility. My research was clearly not thorough enough, not wide enough. Also, really if you think about it, though, you can't really remove the restraining scene because it's kind of an integral part to the film. I mean, that is like kind of how she, and the logic of this movie, admittedly doesn't make much sense. That's how she kind of calms down music.
Yeah. Do you think the actors are going to show up 5 years after the fact to reshoot these scenes?
To see a cut
for fucking music.
Oh my god. Well,
they know what they did was wrong. They know this movie wasn't good. They don't want to have anything to do with this anymore.
Oh my gosh. So I did want to. I actually looked up. I was like, did anybody like this movie? And I actually did find some positive reviews.
Yeah, I saw there was like a couple.
Yeah, actually there was several. I was shocked. I went on Wikipedia. I mean, most of the reviews are just awful. One of my favorite. I want to read a bad review real quick. It's like one of my favorite. Quote. This is from Slate. Why don't you watch my film before you judge it? Sia tweeted in November when outrage about the movie's casting started to percolate. Well, I have watched the film. I am judging it, and it's awful. I thought that was a funny review. But I'm going to read some positive reviews because I was shocked.
Yeah, you gotta let me know where these positive reviews are.
Okay, so I have the author and I have the source. So Andrew McMillan of The Australian.
Okay, home field advantage.
Yeah, home field advantage. Praised music, writing that it is a portrait of autism in all its inward splendor and outward challenges. And he commended Ziegler's portrayal of the title character, describing her performance as moving, singular, and perfectly pitched, and as, quote, one of the most moving, magnetic, and complete performances in recent memory. Holy shit.
Whoa.
My God, Andrew McMillan loved music.
Yeah, dude.
That is just not right.
No, stay in Australia, dude. I mean, no, you can come visit, but yeah, I don't know what movie he saw.
I think he saw Cats.
He probably saw Cats instead.
That was bizarre. I mean, hey, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Most complete and moving and magnetic performances in recent. I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hate on somebody for enjoying this movie. I'm just gonna, question.
Disagree.
Yeah.
This is another Variety. So this is us, Variety magazine.
Oh man.
Shirley Happerin described the film as exceptional, one filled with music and visual splendor, with heart at its core, and said that the long wait for this film's release was, quote, well worth it.
Yo, that sounds like
The Onion wrote some, I feel like these feel like Onion reviews.
Yeah, that one right there sounded like when you write a book report and you haven't read the book.
You just use big words,
It was incredible. It's filled with music. It's got visuals. It's so good.
I got one more good review. Alex Clement, writing for the British website Hey You Guys. I haven't heard of this one. I might check it out after this. Commended the film, writing that, quote, it's a beautiful piece of art and a great accomplishment for a first-time director. And Clement also praised the musical sequences, describing them as colorful, vibrant, and wild.
Okay. Yeah. It also sounds like you haven't actually seen it.
Oh my god. Yeah, he probably got drunk the night before. He's like, oh fuck, my deadline.
Oh,
My
no.
deadline.
Gotta write about music.
Fuck. Yeah, that's just bizarre to me. Yeah, I mean, I think we've kind of covered a lot of trivia. Like, yeah, like you know, Shia LaBeouf was up for the role. Better movie with Shia?
I think so. Because I mean, I think it would have been a wilder performance. Like, it would not be a good movie with Shia, but it would be a better movie.
I think he's a better actor. I think like say what you want about him, he is crazy. He's had his issues.
Yeah, I think it'd be more.
I've always found him to be a good actor. I think he is like a natural actor.
Mm-hmm. Like honestly, I find this movie. I find that this movie can be entertaining if you're in the right mindset. And I think if you're in the right mindset, and this movie had Shia LaBeouf in it, that would just take it to a whole other level. You know?
I think what's his name?
Jonah
Hill. I think that would be a bad movie.
No,
I love Jonah Hill too.
I just see I just can't think of anything other than like get him to the Greek. Except,
or what was that one movie, The Babysitter, that he did?
Yeah, I didn't.
I think it would be like that all over again. Okay, Golden Raspberry. So this was the first film nominated for the Golden Globe for Best Picture and the Razzie Award for Best Picture. And so this Golden Raspberry Awards, one Worst Actress, quote unquote, one for Hudson, Worst Supporting Actress for Ziegler, and Worst Director for Sia. It did not win Best Picture though.
Okay. Well, what else came out that year? Like, yeah, they go so broad on that too.
Oh, I don't even know who else got nominated.
Yeah, see, I don't think Maddie needed to get that win for. That feels like piling on. Like I said, she was only 14 when she was doing this, so it's not like
I do feel bad for her. Like,
yeah,
I mean, like you're pretty good friends with Sia. It's like, I don't know about this. She's like, come on, let's do it. Come on,
Maddie, be in me movie.
Stop being a wanker, Maddie.
Yeah. Her mom's like, oh, Maddie, are you sure? It's like, she doesn't know anyone else, Mom. If I don't do this, she'll flip out.
Also, Maddie Ziegler prepared for her role by watching YouTube videos of autistic kids melting down that were posted by their parents. That's a weird thing to post on YouTube.
God, yeah.
Like,
I guess like as I don't know. I guess there's a legit reason to do it other than you're just a dick parent. But I'm sure there's like, hey, this is what happens. We do this to deal with it. You'll notice I'm not tackling my child like a fucking maniac. But so I'm sure I'm hoping the videos are like that, and I'm pretty sure they probably are.
I might check out a couple after I get off.
Yeah, it'd just be wild. It's like some asshole parents like, oh, fucking look at my kid.
Look at my kid.
like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. You get like, those like cringy like trailer reactions. It's like you get the kids like reaction to music, like watching it. Oh, see, look at my kid. He hated music.
All right, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
It helps the channel more than you can imagine.
I want to jump into categories. So, what do you think the best scene of the movie is?
Oh,
for you. I mean, it could be. I guess for you, it could be most funny. It just the scene that you like the most, for whatever reason.
I really like the whole scene where they're getting the snow cone, and then she goes underneath the bench and starts eating the gum, and then gets stung by a bee. Just because it's such an incredible series of events. Like, she's going to make the drug deal, and she's going to fuck that up. She fucks everything else up. Zoo, not music. And they're like, well, let's stop and get a snow cone. It's not like I have, all the drugs for Haiti in my backpack. Is that, music's over there eating stale gum, and then a bee attacks her. Incredible.
That is a great scene. I think for me, I'm going to go with the opening number because that was when I was like, oh, fuck, this is what this movie is. And I did laugh my ass off. I am a bad person maybe for doing that, but that opening musical number is so just like her hand movements, her face, like facial reactions. It's just like that was, and that's when I think it's good. That scene's gonna lose people. That's when Molly walked out.
You got to bring her back.
Like, yeah, she was like, "Fuck this." She like walked out, and that. But I did laugh that first musical number because it was shock humor. It was like, oh my god, this is bad.
I'll tell you, the first time I saw it too, speaking of scenes, I also lost it the first time Ebo burst into the apartment and tackled music. I completely lost my shit on that. I was like, oh my god.
I do like that scene where she has a fit in public, and then Zoo's like, "Aren't you gonna do something, Ebo?" And he's like, "What do you mean? A black person jump on top of white girl in the middle of the street?" I was like, "Good point, dude. Good point."
Yeah, good looking out. And
go on.
Yeah, no, that's no, I got nothing. But yeah, no, that is they went for it twice. Nobody told them not to.
You know how there's 3 beats in comedy? They needed to do a third jump on music scene.
Yeah, you got like Terry Crews or somebody come rushing.
Oh my god!
I
think you should have got what's his name, the Asian kid who gets killed.
Oh, Felix?
Yeah, I think Felix should have had a moment where he like jumped on top of her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. At least so you could connect that character to anything in the fucking movie.
Right. Oh god.
What do you think the worst scene in the movie is?
So many to choose from. The musical scene, any one of the musical scenes could easily be it, but there's one musical scene where it's just Kate Hudson, I think, and she's at like a dinner table and everything's like comically large around her. And
it's like the big forks are huge. Like,
yeah, but they're not even like forks. Like one of them is like, instead of a fork, it's like a hand at the end of it.
Yeah.
Like a freaking bone. And it's so bad. Yeah, any of the musical numbers, I'm kind of like, I'm going to be looking at my phone or my iPad until this is done. Just give me the gist.
Any scene with Ben Schwartz, I don't like Ben Schwartz. I find him annoying.
I just thought his character was so hilarious because it was like this drug guy. And every time he's there, he's like, I'm gonna have to do something I don't want to do. And stealing all of his product and money. And then at the end of that too, she when she's sober and she's lost all the drugs for Haiti, she actually goes back and she's like, I know, I'm gonna make it right. I'm gonna pay you back. And Ben Schwartz is like, okay, that sounds good. So it was kind of funny.
Yeah, you're right. Like worst drug dealer ever.
Yeah, he's operating on a loss, which is incredible.
Yeah. Okay. Is there like a best quote of the movie?
Shit.
Anytime that I think music freaks out and she's like, make you eggs.
Yeah. Braid your hair.
Braid your hair. Braid your hair.
Those are good.
Go to bed. Go to bed.
What else is music?
When Kate Hudson's like, can I just turn this kid in?
Oh yeah,
that's probably the quote of the movie.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, I was like, wow, you are a piece of shit.
You guys do pickups?
Yeah, you guys do pickups.
What if I weren't here? But
go on.
Yeah, I thought the movie was going to be. I'm sorry to come back to it. I thought the movie was going to be more about like the two of them developing a relationship. But kind of after the first freak out, they're like, everything's cool. They're like buds for the rest.
You barely have a movie here. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. And then it's like learning about like, oh, well, they added the music scenes later. I just like, I don't, this story was just stretched thin. I just don't really think you had a lot here to work with. I really don't. And then what you do have is like, I mean, honestly, I think the biggest crime of this movie is it's kind of generic and boring, like script wise and story wise, you know?
Mm-hmm. And you had so many people telling you not to make this movie and you did it anyways. Like you could have.
Well, I just want to know, like, I want to know who produced this, who gave Sia $16 million to make this.
I don't know. I saw Warner Brothers, the Warner Brothers logo comes up sometime, but Yeah, I don't know who's actually giving the money and distributing this.
Do you think that the studio thought like, oh, we have like a Oscar contender on our hands?
I think they might have, because you look at this and you can tell that everybody tried. And then when it came to time to release, you can tell everyone was like, we can't let anybody see what we've done. Except Sia. Sia was like, my movie's great. But
Oh,
everyone
when
else
you
was
gonna
like,
release this? Oh, you give me blue balls for 4 years. 4 years is sad.
I know, well, 4 friggin' years.
I
But
think
she said
I think it was completed by 17, right?
yeah, and she
I
said
think they shot it.
she
Yeah.
spent that whole time editing, which
Jesus
is, you
Christ.
be a first time director, first time editor. That's
Also, if you're a first time director, well, I said this earlier in the pod, like I think you should just not tackle this subject matter anyway.
yeah.
But Jesus Christ, a first time director tackling this,
Mhm.
like, boy, you must be really sure of yourself.
Yeah, my cat has shown up.
Well, this category is kind of dumb, but best unintentional comedic moment. I mean,
Oh, they're all
the whole movie.
you know, Felix dying because
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
it's like it's so. I mean, it's never funny when a child dies. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it
But
is.
but just the way that like this character was kind of like a nothing character of the movie, and then he just like suddenly dies, and it's presented kind of like this big dramatic thing, but then it's never mentioned again. It had nothing to do with anything. So
Yeah, I would agree.
that and whenever music gets tackled.
The musical number after he dies is very bizarre.
Yeah, he's dressed up in a dog costume.
I don't know what they were going for. Like, like, are we seeing this through his subconscious, his fading subconscious?
Is this what we see when we die?
Oh my god, we're transported before we die. We're transported to a Sia music video. Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right. What's the best performance in this movie? I don't even know if you can answer that. I don't know if anyone qualifies.
No, I got to go with Henry Rollins as the angry neighbor.
I mean, he was the most natural. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to give it to Henry Rollins.
Yeah, good job. I mean, yeah, he didn't overstay his welcome. He wasn't. He acted like a normal person would. No one else in the movie's really doing that.
Yeah.
Anything?
I thought the landlord was okay.
Yeah, that's Hector Elizondo.
Yeah, I thought he was decent.
Yeah, been in some stuff. He wasn't bad.
The person who was in the doctor who said, "Oh, the EpiPen is right here." That was pretty good performance.
Yeah.
Good
line delivery.
Be that stung music was a pretty good performance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then my last category before we rate this thing, what is the worst performance?
Oh,
you go with Ziegler. Let's talk about this. I don't know if we've talked about this. Okay. Is it that bad, or is it?
Is the movie that bad?
Is Ziegler's performance like? What I mean, is it that bad?
I think she did the assignment she was given, and I don't think she was. I'm gonna guess. I don't know, but I'm gonna guess that she wasn't given a lot of leeway in how to do this performance. That what you see on the screen from her is exactly what Sia wanted. So I'm gonna give her a pass because, like I said, she was 14 when this came out.
Imagine 14 and you have to tackle this.
Yeah,
that is insane to me.
Yeah, I give it to Hudson. I did not like that character at all. I mean, I don't know if she's supposed to be likable or get likable or anything. I just was not a fan of Kate Hudson in this.
Yeah, what happened to Kate Hudson? Because I mean, I feel like Almost Famous comes out 20 years ago, and it's like, okay, this is a hot new actress. She's got a great career ahead of her, and she kind of just did a bunch of shitty like rom-coms. She never really
Yeah, she kind of got killed after Almost Famous. I don't know.
I don't know.
Either her or Leslie Odom were the worst.
I didn't really like Leslie Odom.
No,
I didn't care for him. I mean, I don't know. I think Kate Hudson, like, her character's annoying, but I think that is the character. I think she's playing that character fine. But
it probably is. The worst performance probably is Leslie, and they just made so many weird. Sia made so many weird choices when in the creation of this character, too, and then he's having to play with he's having to do a pretty big African accent, or like a Ghana or Gandhi. I don't know. Just.
Well, what are we talking about? Actually, Sia gives the worst performance in this movie.
Oh yeah,
that was an awful cameo.
I mean, yeah, if we can give best performance to Henry Rollins, we can give worst performance to Sia.
Yes. Okay. So Sia worst performance, Henry Rollins best. Okay. So we've reached the end of the pod. Give me your final thoughts and rating out of 5.
Okay. If you're sober, this movie is awful. It's a 1 out of 5. If you have anything else, probably a 3. You can get some good laughs at this, but just, you just got to realize that, as I said before, everything this movie is trying to teach you is wrong. Other than be nice to each other, pretty much, the basic super surface level stuff. So if you take everything else as like unintentional comedy, you can probably enjoy this.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, for me, I was kind of disappointed. Well, because I thought I was kind of hoping for a Fanatic situation where it's unintentional. Have you seen the Fanatic?
I have not seen the Fanatic.
Oh, we should do that one. Okay, Fanatic. Talk about an offensive movie about mentally challenged people that is funny, so bad it's funny. That is a great movie. But this one, I don't know. I did laugh at some spots. I mean, the musical numbers were just so out there and bizarre that I laughed. And there was a couple funny scenes here and there, but I mean, I thought this for the most part was like kind of boring, and the script is just so just generic, and the dialogue's not great. I don't hear me out. I don't think Sia is the worst director. I think she wrote this. I think she's not a good screenwriter.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on there. I think
and I think directing. I mean, I don't know. The directing was fine.
I think she's capable of doing some interesting visual stuff, but some of the choices were just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, this was just a bad idea. I mean, someone should have stopped Sia. And it's so weird that this is what she wanted. She spent years developing this. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like if you had a time machine, would you go back in time and stop Sia from making music? Or would you do something more worthwhile?
I mean, I would have to give it a 1. I just don't think it's I mean, I will say some of the songs I didn't hate. I didn't hate all of the songs. Although I will say I couldn't hum you one. I don't really remember any of them. So I guess I would recommend this if you're if you're just a big Sia fan, maybe check this out. But I just think it's cringy. It's uncomfortable. Just like Robert Downey Jr. said, you just never go full retard.
Yeah, really. I think the funniest thing about this,
Jack, we were talking offline about this. You see, this reminds you of Simple Jack a little bit.
Yeah, and I think when I was reading the Wikipedia, I think other people have made that connection as well. This is the Simple Jack of 2020.
Oh yeah.
It's the thing that kills me when I watch this is just watching and being like, God, this got made. These were the choices they made. People thought this was a good idea, and just being amazed by that.
I mean, I guess in a sense, you do have to see it to believe it. So I guess if you just want to check out a notoriously bad movie, I guess give it a try. I mean, it is on Amazon Prime. I mean, we did not pay to see this. I would not pay to see this. It's also worth noting, we never brought this up. Shia Labeouf, he was in the movie with an actual mentally challenged person. Have you seen that? It's like the Peanut Butter Falcon.
Is that the one that's kind of about autobiographical a little bit about himself? Or
no, you're thinking something else. I think Honey Boy.
Oh, Honey Boy. Okay, yeah.
But he did do a movie, the Peanut Butter Falcon. I heard that was really good. So I mean, maybe there is something to if you actually, maybe this would have been received better if they actually did get a real autistic person. I know that she claims that she did initially hire.
She had everybody. She was like adding people that nobody was even asking about. She's like, yeah, I had autistic people, I had trans people, I had all these other people. Like,
That was a tweet too.
What are you bringing them up? I mean, that's lovely, but okay.
Yeah, I just think, I think, unfortunately, I think Sia let her ego get the best of her. So I mean, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, you got me wanting to watch the Fanatic now too, just to see like.
Oh my God, watch the Fanatic.
Fred Durst is a better director than Sia.
Oh my God, I don't want to give it away, but let's just say there's a funny. I'm not gonna say anything, but you'll know what the scene is when you watch it.
All right.
Say like one of the characters is in a car, and a certain song plays. You're gonna love it. Well, James, thanks for being on here.
Thanks for having me, man.
I think you're gonna be my wild card for this pod. I think I'm gonna have you on to do some weird, fucking like bad movies.
Oh yeah, I've been watching a lot of bad movies this pandemic.
Maybe we'll do the Fanatic or something else. But
if you want to do Cats, I'll get down with you on that.
Oh yeah, Cats will be discussed at some point. I don't know when, but it will be discussed. That might be an extravaganza episode. That might be like the 50th episode or something crazy. But
get all your friends.
Yeah, I'll get everybody. Just be like a limited series. Like, what did you think about Cats? What did you think about Cats? But all right. Well, this was fun, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.